All right. That's working. I need to add your... All right. They say something?
Check.
Cool.
1 2 1 2. Yep,
awesome. Cool. Co-streaming with Silencer from BFG.
Yes, sir. You already know what's going on, baby.
I think we're live. We're going to go through the patch notes. And we'll see if this all works. I don't even know how to tell. YouTube is so bad on live, what's working, what's not. But
yeah, it's like you have to be specially tuned for YouTube or some shit.
Yep. But says it's live. So I've got 2 people watching, so I'm going to declare that a W. It's working. So let's get it on. Let's get going.
Let's go.
All right. So patch notes. So we're season 3 is a couple days away. Call of Duty Warzone season 3 patch notes. We're going to go through the Warzone ones first because let's be honest, that's what we're all here for. We all want to know what's coming with Verdansk. And so we'll go with that. Let's see here. Monday, March 21st. It comes out. Trying to make this screen wider so I can read the text. Sweet. Set that up. All right. Cool. All right. So we have Monday, March 31st. So this is patch notes for April 2nd in multiplayer. Warzone will be shut down April 2nd, pop back up on April 3rd. So this is the Thursday, April 3rd content we will get in Warzone. The Ricochet anti-cheat is going to be up. And so that's kind of, they open it up with that. Let's see. Yes, Ricochet anti-cheat. What's up? What's up, everybody? Okay.
Yo.
Sorry, I'm just arranging windows on my screen so I can see everything while we go. All right, cool. I can see chat. I can see you. I can see everything. So let's get reading. All right, first up, Battle Pass. It's shocking we get a Battle Pass. Bet you we get Black Cell too. They're bringing back. They're bringing back some classic operators. So memories are a powerful tool. Even the departed can change the course of history. The road back to Verdansk involves unlocking core memories as well as some unforgettable weaponry and new operators. Huzzah. Flashback to Agent Jason Hudson coming back. We knew that. Unlockable through the Battle Pass. Blah, blah, blah. Mace. Oh, yeah, Mace. I remember that guy. Okay. Yeah. 110 unlockable pieces of content, excluding Black Cell. So Black Cell gets you more, because of course. And blah, blah, blah. Console crossplay. All right. In Season 3, we're giving console players more granular options by separating the MP ranked play and Call of Duty Warzone ranked play settings and allowing a new multiplayer-only setting for quick play featured in party games matches. They don't trust us. They don't trust PC players. Probably rightfully so.
Yeah. Absolutely don't.
Each of these 3 settings, multiplayer ranked play and Call of Duty Warzone ranked play, multiplayer unranked, will include the following options. On enables matchmaking with all platforms. On consoles only, enables matchmaking only with other consoles when playing. This is like what every console player should be on this. I'm just telling you right now. Should all be on this. And off restricts matchmaking to your current gaming platform. Well, if you're on Xbox, that's going to suck. So just don't do that one. Additional details. Blah, blah. So this is probably how it's been for ranked play before, right? If you join up with somebody who's on PC, it gets reset. If you join up with a PlayStation player and you're on Xbox, it gets reset to that status. So no, nothing new there. But they are expanding that to. They're going to expand that to MP unranked, which is probably a W. Recon. Yeah, that was a troll. I was having fun. If you missed it, Silencer, I posted a thing where I listed off all everything that they said on the creator call, including movement going, getting 65% slower and all the 3v3 Gulag, and I was just having fun. So that was just me trolling. Here's the real deal.
Okay, I was a little concerned.
No, I had
like, what?
I was having fun. Preloading shaders warning. Let's see here. Yeah, name not found. No, they do. They separate PC Game Pass. So if you are on PC Game Pass, you actually get a Xbox Game Pass PC icon. So Lipe, we're just starting, so don't worry about it. Preloading. UI, UX, and text changes. Preloading shaders. Improve menu frame rate stability while compiling shaders, because we're gonna have to do that like 8 times. New widget to indicate the progress of it. Okay, I didn't know we needed that, but whatever.
Never me out every.
PC benchmark, in case you missed it. The benchmark is there. Cool. Don't care. Customization, weapon and blueprint customization. You're now able to customize any Black Ops 6 base weapon or weapon blueprint with a skin you've unlocked or purchased across all the modes. So base weapon or weapon blueprint. For base weapons, you can only change the skin of the base weapon, not attachments. Okay, so I guess that's putting all of your... Okay, I think we looked at this before.
Does that mean you can use mastery camos on Black Ops 6 weapons? Or is this not that?
No. So basically, if you buy a weapon skin, right? If you buy a blueprint, you can put that look on anything. But it won't do the attachments. So it's just your base weapon, right?
Right.
But if you start with a blueprint, you can swap the attachment look and feel of the attachments out, right?
Okay, I know.
So if you get
a vertical grip blueprint, you can put a blueprint of the vertical grip from any blueprint on that gun.
Yeah, any blueprint that has that. That came up before. I think that's what it's on. So let's see here. Black Cell daily challenges. Black Cell owners now complete an additional daily challenge. Can you make daily challenges worth something? Because XP ain't it, right? Like before, you got like you did all the challenges in a day, and then at the end of the season, you got like a camo. You don't get shit for it. Now you just get XP. So nobody cares.
7,500. I get 7,500 in 2 games, like or a game. Honestly, like that doesn't mean anything at all.
Not helpful. Okay. Warzone. All right. So here we go. Let's get into it. Events. Return to the Verdansk. They talked about this before, so you get a bunch of free shit. So if you played Verdansk before, this I think is cool. 2 thumbs up for me on this. If you played Verdansk in Warzone 1 and you log in starting on the 2nd, you get this parachute, the gun screen, and the chemtrails for when you're parachuting in, right? Instead of it being like the red trail, it'll be this green tealy color, which I think is hot. Yep. Chemtrails have got to. I call them chemtrails as a joke. They're contrails, right? But if you know any conspiracy person, like contrails and chemtrails are the same thing to them. Probably why we have a gas problem in Verdansk. Everybody's got the chemtrails on. The chemtrails are probably the most underutilized like thing they could have added. Like colored smoke, just change the color and put it in, put it in bundles, put it in, Black Cell, and people would buy that shit. Instead, we've only got like 3 over the history of Warzone 2, which is ridiculous.
100%. I would definitely, especially like say during Independence Day, you drop a chemtrail.
Yeah, like red, white, and blue. Like hell yeah, dude. They should do that.
Stars flying out of it, bro. You know how many people would get that?
Yeah. Let's see here. Call of Duty Warzone. So we also get some operators. The Kilo 141 drops. So you can get the Kilo 141 on Tuesday the 2nd or Wednesday the 2nd. So you get that a day early. You can level it up in MP the night before. So it's ready to go for Warzone. Because remember, Warzone shuts down on the 2nd. It's not available all day. And we get it on the 3rd. But MP will be available on the 2nd. Okay, so you can play if you and it's a free play day. So even if you don't buy multiplayer, you can still play. And then if you complete the Verdansk challenge, Return to Verdansk challenge, you get Kali sticks, which are back, and this blazer skin guy. So there's it was in the blog before. I'm not going to go rehash it, but it's like it's an actual event. It's not just show up and get XP. So there's like safes and stuff scattered around. So I'm excited to have to hunt that down. That's going to be fun. Okay, so some of this I'm sure is going to be refreshed from the blog, but I want to get, hopefully the details are here. So Verdansk, welcome home. Verdansk has returned. The map that started it all in Call of Duty Warzone, including a breadth of classic and memorable features that naturally come with it. Recap. So it's like 95% the same as it was before. They've adjusted some trees. I like this one, the non-drivable, oh Lord, this word. Non-drivable vehicles clearly marked as smoldering wreckage. I think that's a W, right? Like they have had this problem since Warzone 2 came out, where they have so much stuff that looks legit until you get close to it and you realize it's not real, like doors and windows that you can't use, right?
Right.
So, not having cars that look like cars on the map is going to be good. And I'm going to call that an improvement over the original map. Swimming on the southern coastline, no big deal. Probably a net W because the number of times I've gotten stuck on a little rock and I can't hop over this pebble to get back in the map and I die. Thanks. Thanks for that. Eventually get rid of that. They've added more trails up mountainsides, adjusted some telephone electrical poles. I've hit those.
Big W about that swimming thing is that it says not critical to gameplay. So that basically means that there's no circles going to end in the water. Yeah,
they're not going to put a southern ending circle down there, which is great. If anything, it'll be like it'll like one of the late circles will edge the water, and then like they'll have to come out, and so the water rats will get drowned. So W, I think. Ascenders are coming back. Doors swing both ways. They added some more ladders. This is the one thing that, look, I have seen their previews and they can do a lot of stuff with previews. However, the enhanced exterior lighting, improved visibility, and reduced glare, and the combined with interior lighting adjustments, there are so many pitch black spots in Urzikstan. It's unbelievable.
Promenade. God. That's where the rose skin rose to power. Promenade
and parts of corner. Airport and just everywhere. If they, from what they showed us, it should look better. All of the screenshots, especially that they've posted, especially of areas that originally looked terrible, look really good. So hopefully they fixed it and it looks good inside, where it's like it's not pitch black, where you can't just disappear. Added detail enhancements, blah, blah, blah. Console players at 120 FOV. Okay, look, I have never seen Verdansk at 120 FOV. I've only seen it at 80 FOV as a console player through that era of Verdansk. I'm so excited to see it at 120. However,
I never played Verdansk at 120.
I think a big problem with Verdansk at 80 FOV was that against PC players, a lot of the things that those of us who played console had problems with and ran into had to do with the FOV more than anything else, right? We complained about slide canceling, we complained about all movement and all this other stuff. And the reality was that 80 FOV really limited your ability to play, while somebody at 120 FOV could, for example, rotate around you and keep the aim assist on you because they had the wider field of vision. They could keep you on the screen easier. Versus you trying to rotate, then you lose them faster. I think that was the biggest problem in Verdansk as a console player, and we blamed everything else because we didn't know better. But that was it. Like 80 FOV.
Definitely the skill gap. The skill gap was definitely there because of the FOV. Yep. And I know J God did testing on. Oh well, it's still the same distance whether you are running and all that other stuff. It's still.
Well, yeah, that didn't change.
All visual. It's all visual. The visual, I know when I changed over to PC in Caldera, I was like, I think I gained at least 20% of skill because I knew I could do it at that point. Slide canceling in 80 FOV was not the same as slide canceling in 120 FOV. It just wasn't. So to me, it was like, I instantly like 20%. I was still trash then, but I was like, I felt better doing certain things in 120 as opposed to 80. So big W for that.
Yeah. Well, especially if you can keep somebody on screen, right? Like when you're rotating, just the ability to like move past somebody and keep them on screen so you know what your rotation is versus if you're off screen, right? And I was crunching numbers and trying to do the math on the angles and how the angles affected it, and I got in my head about it and I said I don't care anymore. We all have 120. So we'll see. It'll be good. The original Gulag Showers is back. Cool. All 3 variants. Cool. Excited to see that. Gulag Overtime Capture the Flag. L. I hate the flag. The flag is like the worst part about the Gulag. My preference would actually be have like a timer go, like have a bomb in the Gulag where it's like you either kill the other person or or even like the zip line was okay and where the bomb goes off and you both die. Like I would prefer something like that, where you're forced to fight it out. Like if the timer starts running down, you better get that kill or make the play for it. Otherwise, like lame. Like the number of times that somebody's just like catches throws down smoke and catches the edge of the flag, and by the time you get to them, you just don't have enough time to kill them before the flag expires. Like pass.
Yeah.
So
they're trying to bring back the nostalgic feel, and this is how it was in the beginning.
Well, it's one of the things that sucked at the beginning.
Well, yeah, we all know about the famous everything that was wrong with Verdansk that everybody want to change, but this is his OG.
Yeah. Rebirth Island will be live, but it's going to go away for like a week or something like that. So, the first week back, we won't have Resurgence, which is it's a celebration of Verdansk.
It's fine. I'm cool with that.
Kefri, yeah. I mean, it does, but at the same time, like the capture on it is like it's so weird because it's such a small radius. It's just a weird mechanic. I don't know. I don't like the mechanic. I think even the zip lines and the ladders that we've had are a better mechanic. Like the zip line mechanic at least is good because you can shoot. You have a chance to like shoot the guy going up, and you can hit him from just about anywhere. So like if they jump that right and you don't pick it up in time, you at least have like an opportunity to get them. And they're more exposed, right? Versus like the flag, you just pop a smoke down and hide in the smoke and like capture it before they can even find you in it. So I'll give you that. I don't like the flag, but all right. If that's the first gripe I have, so be it. Battle Royale casual at launch.
This right here. This is a big topic for me. I was just talking to somebody about this earlier. Now, I feel like this is their answer to people who 2-box or people who complain about, oh, well, they're in bot lobbies or we can't play with our friends because they hate our lobbies and they can't just chill and play and have fun and all this other stuff. You want to do that? Here you go. And it's still 120 bots and 28 players.
Yeah, 148 players, whatever.
148. So you're playing the actual Battle Royale experience. Yeah, it has bots in it. You can fuck around, have fun, drink a couple beers, go off, play a couple bots. There's still some real players in it. You still might be on your P's and Q's. So there's an element of actual effort that you do have to put in at some point, but you're not getting chased by 148 people of sweat or people who are trying. Now you have 120 bots. You can go in there, have fun, and chill without actually having to sweat your ass off. So this is a W for me. And for everybody that has players who just play 2 hours, 3 hours a week or something like that, or on the weekend, you just want to fucking play, go ahead, break your legs. Go aheed.
You know what? I know a lot of people complain about it, and it's like, you had like the boot camp mode, which, I've, because Warzone didn't work for me for like the first season and a half it was out, I had to play. That was like the only the only mode that worked for me, that and Plunder. And Plunder was even like 4 or 5% packet loss. So, which I think was an anti-2-boxing issue. So I got a good experience of it. One, content creators are, that thing is chock full of them. People are looking for clips and shit, like endless. I saw a lot of names that were very familiar to me from looking at Twitter. So yeah, that's there's going to be a lot of people in there. Like if people are catching clips offline, like solo quadding, guarantee they're going to be in this mode, which is fine. I
100%.
honestly, it's fine. I don't care. Right? Like clips. Nobody loves you for clips anymore. Unfortunately, like that ship has kind of sailed with the pandemic. I think
gone. It's definitely gone.
Yeah, I mean it's still there. You still see some wild stuff. I'll tell you, Crossbow Mike, buddy of mine, Crossbow Mike. He's like, but his clips are like legit. Like you can't buy those clips anywhere else. So, like that sort of stuff, like something really unique. But you're running the mill. Oh, I just speed ran around somebody and mopped them up. Nobody cares anymore.
No.
It's just not a thing.
A 360 snipe shot on whoever is just a 360 snipe shot on whoever at this point.
Yeah.
You can do it to a bot, you can do it to a real person. It still looks cool when you do it.
But everybody does it, right? So, but I think this is going to be the solution for like when you have, like you said, when you have like your random casual buddies who just, they only play 3 days, out of the month, they're on 1 week in a month and they're like, what's the meta? Right. And when they hop on, like this is the mode for them when they don't want to, when they can't keep up with you and you don't want to like carry everybody. Right. Like it's, I think it's going to be a popular mode just because it's going to be a mode that people can play. And you can play with mixed levels and you don't have like, hopefully. So here's where it would be benefit if they take, the, protected brackets and they just get rid of the protected brackets and they open up pubs in terms of in terms of your levels, right? And they just kind of make it a bit more wide open. And then if people just really can't hang or you want to play with like severely mixed groups, right? You hop into this mode and you have some fun. I think it could be good. Right. I think, people will absolutely farm clips and have some fun, use it for their content. But I think a lot of folks are going to get some fun out of it. It's probably going to be a good wind down at the end of the night too, right? You've sweated out all day. You just want to kick back, time to open a beer or two and wind down. So I think we'll see that in use.
Yep. And learn the map, learn jump spots and stuff
Explore.
like that, especially for like somebody like me. I mean, I know Verdansk, but just to get my hands warm or something like that, I'll probably jump in there and just slay out, get my hands warm, get my shot right, and then hop into pubs with the boys.
Yep. High Trip in season. This was an event we had before. Be interesting to see what they do with it. They'll talk about it more, I'm sure. Returning. Battle Royale at launch. Cool. 150 solos, duos, trios, 152 in quads.
Ooh.
Math works out that way.
It does.
The plunder at launch. 100 player plunder. Count. Cool. Warzone Boot Camp is still around. 20 players, 24 bots. The small maps, smaller section of it. So you start with a small section of the map. And that's going to be more of a tutorial type mode. You just don't probably having mode specific matchmaking to help players practice skills. So in other words, SBMM in that. They just can't let that go. God.
No, they're never letting us. Them having Warzone casual literally is them telling us we're never getting rid of SBMM.
No.
We're keeping it whether you like it or not. So go over there and play.
They might make it. They might screw everybody and make it even more intense.
They might tighten that thing around our necks real tight this time. Oh yeah, we have this mode for you guys now.
Casual as sweats.
If you want to.
Yeah. Yeah. We gotta have a separation between SBM, between pubs and ranked. Like it's just got to feel different, right? Because these days ranked has been sweatier than, or pubs has been sweatier than ranked. Pass on that.
I mean, they do that because why? Those players that want to play ranked don't want to play ranked because of the teaming and the cheater issue.
Yeah.
So he said, fuck it. I'm not playing ranked. I'm just gonna play pubs. And we see Aiden every day solo queuing every goddamn pub at this point. So he's got his number one skin.
So, but all right, Resurgence launch window. So Resurgence comes back in the launch window. Rebirth Island, 44 players. Nothing's changed. Cool. Playlist. So April 3rd to the 10th. Everything we just talked about minus Resurgence. So Resurgence looks like it'll come back the 11th then. All right. For information about playlist, blah. Ranked play. Season 2 is officially wrapped up. Ranked play will be offline until the first half. All right. So ranked play comes back mid-season. We'll get a blog post on that, I'm sure. General Classic. All right. So here we go. Let's get into the good details. 150 players is back. 152 in quads. So, I mean, that's just a, math, right? 150 doesn't divide evenly. Tipped our hat. I think before they used to just run at 148 players or something like that. So they'll let the equivalent of 150 players. In quads,
people drop out and shit like that. So
yeah.
It's still up there. It's just not.
Well, 152 is good if you have the right balance. If you have enough time to move around and kind of do your thing, 150 is good. Is what you need. If you remember, if you remember in Warzone 2, they actually got the reason they got rid of 150 players in Al Mazrah was to speed up the circle and bring in all those resurgence mechanics because they wanted faster paced gameplay. That's what they were trying to give to people, and I think they missed the mark on that. Ultimately, in BR, in Resurgence, faster paced gameplay is what you want. BR is different. It should feel different. Free fall shooting. Oh, I have a lot of friends that are pissed off about this. I don't care. Because it means you're going to be able to pull your shoot, cut your shoot, hit the ground, and start shooting immediately, right? Instead of right now where you have to cut your shoot, hit the ground, pull out your gun, check it, order a pizza, and then you can start shooting, right? Like get rid of that mechanic. I want to cut my shoot, hit the ground and be fighting immediately. Which means that and maybe we'll shoot somebody out of the air. So, it's going to have to change up how you get out of the plane. You're going to have to think about it more and pay attention to who's behind you. 360 degree revive rotation. Cool. W. They shouldn't have gotten rid of that. They got rid of it for realism. That sucks. But players can now rotate their view 360 degrees while reviving a squad mate instead of having to sit there and stare at them while you revive.
Yeah. So you can't look behind you like, I know there's somebody chasing me, so now I have to revive you in front of your face, but I know a guy's behind me, but I can't fucking see him, and he's about to shoot me in my back. So yeah, this is a W.
End game circle pacing. Gas pacing is faithful to the original timings of the gas circle. Circle pacings, cool.
This is great. This is good. This is good to know.
Yes. So let's see here. Circle logic brings back this possible. It does not mean that circle can move very quickly. All right. Hold on. Battle match. Yeah. So they're increasing the time. So opening circle is. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I understand what they're saying. They're not comparing this to current. They're just telling us what it is. So 4.5 minutes before the first circle is closed. 3:40 the second circle. And it speeds up until.
Oh, it speeds up crazy.
Yeah, it gets start moving quickly later game, which is good. So I mean, this was like I mentioned a minute ago. This is kind of one of the things that they changed in Al Mazrah partway through it when they cut the player count. Right, they sped the circles up so the circles start moving quickly, which
so get everybody in.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where it was designed to mimic. It was designed to kind of encourage contact and kind of cut some of the dead space in the game because people were complaining there was too much dead space during the game. But I think what we found after having no dead space in the game is that actually doesn't make the feel of a BR work, right? It feels more like Resurgence on a bigger map. Which if they want to do Resurgence, they've done that before. Resurgence on the big map, which actually kind of works out. You can have some fun with that.
That'll be in mid-season,
but it'll be its own LTM, right? Make it its own LTM. But this, this circle time, Verdansk was great. One of the reasons why Warzone was great is you just had time early on, you had some time to breathe, right? If you didn't drop hot, or if you dropped hot and cleaned up quickly, you had time to breathe in the match. Like, you had a few minutes to kind of get your stuff. That's when people would fuck around, they'd talk, they'd joke, they'd some of the best moments came in the downtime, where people like kind of explored the map a little bit and goofed off and did stuff that they wouldn't do in the game today, because you don't have time. Like, if you take 10 seconds to goof off, someone's going to drop in off your head and rip you a new one for it. And that it just, I think the pacing is too frantic, right, for a BR.
Right.
And the people that really love that only love the fast paced play, like, that's what Resurgence is for. It exists for a reason. So I think this is good. At the end of the day, it's going to probably ultimately reduce the number of, what the PR for people is. It's going to be harder to drop 80 duo quads or solo quads or whatever. But I think ultimately, for the health of the game overall, it's good. So we'll see. We'll get our hands on it, and we'll see what the complaints are later.
Oh, because they're coming. I'm
guarantee. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think most people will enjoy. I think the pacing was better at the end of the day, because you didn't have the. They tried to correct the lower player count by just adding resurgence things, which means if you're getting farmed, you're just going to get farmed endlessly, and that belongs in resurgence. It doesn't belong in PR.
It all came from. Listen, we always appreciate the things that we had when we don't have them anymore. So when they took out all that stuff away, it was like, yeah, some of the stuff that happened was asked for. Let's not make this mistake. Some of that stuff that happened was asked for. They just leaned into their own ideals of it off of what they asked for. So yeah, we're gonna appreciate the slower pace of BR. Right. And coming from me, who was a Resurgence player, because it's not like I didn't play Verdansk. I played Verdansk. I have clearly the stats for it, but it made it a certain way, and then everybody got sick of it. So it was like, yeah, we're going to lean into this because this is what you asked for. So we're going to lean more into it. Yeah. But they went too far in leaning into it. So now it's like,
well, and they started leaning into this stuff when they had Caldera, which was objectively not a great map. So I think people were they came out of Verdansk 84 and they got into Caldera, and Caldera as a map, especially at launch, was just not great. There were tons of problems with the map itself. And so I think people, the complaints and some of the stuff that people added worked really well, like the balloons worked really well in Verdansk, in Caldera. But like when you got to a bigger map, it just messed with stuff. Let's see here. Gameplay, or let's see here, map assets, blah, some other crap. Okay, whatever. Gameplay, classic ascenders on Verdansk in Battle Royale to bring back the classic feel of Verdansk. External ascenders have been disabled at launch, but are scheduled to return in the mid-season. They could, I'll bet they're going to wait and see where the choke points are and add them as they see fit.
Exactly.
So I think they're kind of deciding on where they want, how many they want to put in, where they want to see. So I assume there's some testing here going on, and we might see.
There's going to be people planted in this that are going to give feedback. 100%. There's going to be people that are going to give feedback. They're going to get the call, and they're going to be like, well, look, this works here. This works here. This is what I think it is. And they're going to adjust as they go on, because understand, and this goes to another point, them shutting the servers down and giving us season 3 a day early without Warzone, one is going to show what's wrong first. It's going to show what's wrong with the update so they can try to fix whatever is wrong beforehand. And then when they launch it, then they're going to get the launch with whatever they think is wrong. And then they're going to go in, and it's going to be, this is what it is. Let's see what's wrong with it so we can try to fix it. And so people can give their feedback at least another day without all the fuck ups. Not all of them. There's still going to be some fuck ups.
Well, especially if they're replacing architecture, like key architecture, it's hard to do on the fly like this without taking everything offline. They could also be, and this is something they could be doing because, it's been about 6 months since they hired for it, but they could be moving a Verdansk to a new server stack on the Google or on the Microsoft Azure servers. So, we won't know that until we get there, but that's possible. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But adjustments in the Gulag loadouts. This is interesting. So, all right, in Circle, so here's the Gulag loadout circles. Circle 1 is pistols only. So if you die early, you're pistol on pistol. And you either get the Strider, the 9mm, or the 45. And smokes, here again with the smokes. God, this is my complaint, right? The smoke, it's just going to be like the bad players will just smoke the center and like do the flag. It sucks. All right, you get Circle 2 and Circle 3 looks like about the same. You get the C9, the Val, or the PP919. Cool. Circle 4 and onward, C9 Val with and the 91 or the 919 with some more attachments on it. Frags, thermites.
That helps if you get to Gulag and like later in the game, and then you come back. You're not coming back with a piece of shit weapon.
Yeah,
coming back with
and hopefully they do respawn us with the weapons. Like, because originally you just came back with a pistol, so and it looks like the infill is the 9mm again.
I can see where some people might not like that, only because it's like, hey, they came back with this. Because I'm gonna look at it as pistol, ground loot, pistol, then blue, green, gold. Like this is a green version of the gun, and the Circle 4 and onwards is a gold pistol, a gold weapon. So everybody that
it's only got 2 attachments though, so it's going to be literally, it's going to be, you're dropping in with green.
Well, yeah, best. Green, yeah, so, yeah. All right, yeah.
I mean, you're dropping in with ground loot equivalent. It's not a big deal. Like I don't think it's not going to change anything. But you will be at least viable. Like if you've got skill and you drop in on somebody unexpected, you can actually hold your own for a minute.
C9 and P919 loadout coming back in.
Yeah, well, we'll see what they do with the C9. What's up, dudes?
Well, yeah,
glad to have you in.
They could definitely nerf it and try to get another meta in.
Yep. Player respawn angles. Player now respawn approximately 30 degrees downward instead of directly at the horizon, providing a clearer view of potential landing areas. Okay, I guess we'll find out. This is all right. Whatever. Late game redeploy. Late game redeployments will now spawn players closer to the ground, reducing the need to hover while positioning during final circles. Okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. It also limits the amount of times that you can float high if you're bought back late, and then people are still gunning themselves out. So
didn't they do this in Warzone too?
They did for a while. Yeah, they cut it low because people would like spawn and they float really high up in the air and they just stay there while everybody and you'd get a better placement. So that was a big ranked thing.
They have spawn protection still too.
Yeah. So, yep.
The height for spawn protection was high. So you had to wait till they got a certain height before you could even try to shoot them out the air. Even though if you still shoot them with spawn protection, it's kind of like they're taking damage.
Yeah.
Still.
So. Jay in chat says if you can drop in on someone with a C9 and shoot while free falling, that is cheese. However, you have to pull your shoot at some point. So like if you're dropping in on somebody and they're not paying attention, like I'm of the mind that free for all, like free game on that. However, it's not like you can drop all the way down and like land on somebody. So that you have to pull your shoot close enough. And if the announcers are working and the audio is not bugged, it should limit that somewhat. But this will be like those scenarios where right now, if you hard drop on somebody, you pull the shoot, then you cut your shoot close enough to the ground where you could pull out your gun. When you hit the ground, you're going to stun. And so you can't really get into that fight. And so like if you're the one coming back late, you're hosed no matter what.
Yeah. You're done.
So I think this will be a net negative for people who are too focused or locked in on what they're doing and not paying attention around them or listening. I don't think it's going to be game breaking. It wasn't really game breaking before, for the most part, but it was like when it worked, it was really satisfying to pull off. I'll say that. Unsuppressed red dot distance, the distance at which unsuppressed weapons display on the red dot on the minimap has been reduced in Resurgence to better align with the map size. So I guess in Resurgence it cuts it in half. Cool. They're core to the blah. Yeah, okay. So you get red dots. W. Floating loot is back. Honestly,
W.
I liked the idea of like stuff on shelves. It was kind of a cool idea, especially in like the DMZ setting. However, as I was dealing with last night, where it was like I wanted to pick up the ammo box on the bottom shelf of some bookshelf, and I had to literally go prone to get to it. It wouldn't let me pick it up. Otherwise, I had to go prone to get to it.
That was somebody's OCD when they did that.
I mean, it made sense in Warzone 2 the way they laid it out. It just nobody liked it at the end of the day. Like DMZ, it works out really well, and that just stems from Warzone 2 was supposed to be replaced by DMZ. People were supposed to love DMZ and switch over to extraction shooters over BRs, and then everybody said we don't want extraction shooters, we want a BR right now, and everybody got screwed at Call of Duty. So it is what it is. Reverting it. Cool. So it'll be more visible. Hopefully they also solve the fact that when stuff pops out of the box, it like clips through the wall and it's gone forever, because that sucks. God, that's driving me nuts.
A gun by accident, and and now it's a part of the architecture of the building. Now
it is the one thing that I liked loot wise about MW or Warzone 2 when it launched was the backpacks, because all the stuff was in the backpack, right? So you could kill like 3 people. Like if you jumped into a fray and you killed like 2 or 3 people, and like there was an open chest or something, like you could actually go through the gear reasonably well. Like you could find everything. It wasn't like this pile of crap that you ended up with, which is what we've had. And they've been trying to fix that, but it just creates more problems with clipping because they spread it out further. So stuff flies away or lands behind you. You can't see it. It's a never ending problem that they've created for themselves. So we'll see how this goes. Right. We'll see how it goes. But let's see. The return of Verdansk comes with some refinements to Battle Royale's loot philosophy that brings it back to its roots. Life is valuable. Adaptability. God, I can't talk today. Adaptability is key. Great loot must be earned, and contracts are central to earning cash. Cool. In order to create more intelligent intentionality. Again, I can't talk. Why am I doing this? I can't talk. Around looting, the various sources of loot have been adjusted to be more reminiscent of the classic Verdansk days with some improvements. Ground loot refresh, common to epic weapons, now support a selection of random attachments that align with the weapon's natural strengths. Legendary weapons come with a variety of fixed builds tailored to specific roles that are randomly okay. Change aims at maintaining the excitement of random loot while preserving the reliability of weapon performance. Looting in recent years has become a little too static. A blue, rare tier weapon is often provided the most valuable attachments and devaluing an epic or legendary find. Fact. This change aims to bring more different outcomes and more in the more commonly found weapons. So sounds like almost random weapon attachments on the blue guns, and then the other stuff is like better stuff. Okay. Yeah,
they're gonna put a fucking 4x scope on a blue PP 919.
It's gonna be hilarious. There's gonna be some funny shit. High value loot zones. They've done that before. Cool. Usually they put a marker, a little circle on the ground. You go there, and there's a bunch of cool stuff. Basic weapon or basic supply boxes, legendary and reusable. So the Resurgence ones. Cool. So back to that. Duffel bags. Oh, duffel bags, medical cabinets, and weapon lockers are gone. See ya. No more running to the bat. That's going to screw with the 0 kill, no damage guys, because they won't be able to, or the gas players, because they're not going to be able to find as many stims as reliably.
No more stimmies in the
They're going to have to work. I run stims. That's too bad. That's always good. I can always get one off rip.
Hold munis. Hold a lot of munis.
Fine. I accept. Second chance mechanics.
Munis are more expensive.
Yeah. Second chance mechanics. The following items have been removed from loot: Gulag tokens, reinforcement flares, and redeploy tokens. W. The only methods to return after death are Gulag victories, buy station buybacks, and jailbreak public events. They could have gotten rid of that too. However, as long as it's not like ninth circle jailbreaks, fine. Put it in like the third or fourth circle. It's no big deal. Self-revive kits, they can only be acquired via legendary random drops, scavenger contracts, random drop, buy stations for $4,000, or the fire sale for free. So the way it used to be. This is how BR should be. Your life matters. If you throw your life away, you get to watch the game progress. W. Death tax. Cash dropped upon death has been adjusted to assist players returning from the Gulag. Let's see here. Okay, so 50% of cash will drop on the ground. 50% will remain with the original player, up from 20%. Okay. Yeah, so you used to get taxed like 30% of your cash when you died. And so now it's just a 50-50 split. Cool. Lee, I don't know. I haven't gotten to that part yet. This is a long path. We're only halfway through the patch notes. This is crazy. Loot angle, quality of life, interaction now require more percent aiming to reduce item pickups. So hopefully resolving, like, I'm going to go pick up this self-revive and I accidentally pick up somebody's starter pistol that was next to it and drop my main gun and I can't find it because it went through the floor. W. Rarity outlined, so gradually fade to view a logical problem. Okay, so yeah, you have to get closer to a gun to see what color it's going to be. All right. Loot cards centered over. All right, so just cool. We'll have to see it in game. Buy stations. The return to the buy station.
Verticals.
Sweet.
Let's go.
Back to the way it was. The vertical list is back. And I see loadout at the bottom. Do you remember when they put the RCXD at the bottom? When they introduced that in Cold War? How many times people would just like one tap to go buy their loadout and they buy an RCXD and then everybody's mad at them? Yeah, I remember being on both ends of that. Mostly because I was one of the guys that I know what I want, so pop in, buy it, get out. Versus I had some guys I used to play with that would spend 27 minutes in the buy station making decisions and figuring out exactly how much money they needed to drop. Like I had a guy that would drop exact cash. Like, oh, we need $1,250 for this. Let me drop you $1,250, even though I have, $1,500 in cash, right? I'm going to count it out for you.
Pull out my wallet. Wait, yeah.
Yeah, those guys are always great. But one tap. All right, so cool. Left side shows all the stuff. Right side is teammates. We saw that in the blog post. Up to access the loadout drop. Individual weapon purchases have been removed.
Ooh, so now, So now it literally is you have to buy 2 loadouts if you want your gunfighter, or if you run gunfighter and want your sub, gotta buy another loadout.
I mean, if they give you good subs on the ground, it's not a big deal because you just buy your gunfighter. It's not gonna matter. Right. So probably not a huge problem, but being able to just grab one gun is kind of nice, especially if you buy for those times, especially when you buy the wrong loadout, or like you've been running your loadout and then it's like you've been running your sniper, like your distance sniper, but now you're getting small circle and it's going to be in like a city. You're not going to be able to use it. Like being able to just swap that out quick. Like,
right.
Okay. No, it's fine. I think it'll probably play fine. But yeah, it's been interesting changes they're making.
It's still lessons to making a BR like, all right.
Decisions you make, decisions you make matter, right? It's not just multiplayer with a bigger map. So, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I understand. And make your decisions and your plans make sense. I wish they would just get rid of wild cards. I feel like there's only 2 you ever use, which is gunfighter or overkill, and it's kind of dumb.
Battle ready got tossed when the advantage of battle ready was there, so no one uses battle ready anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, whatever. Moving on. Item icons changed. Item count. Okay, so I can see what you already have. Fine. Labels. They fixed labels. Cool. Buy stations, they'll be in the exact same 30 static spots across every match. Cool. Don't have to guess where they're going to be. Inventory pricing. Let's see here. This is the OG pricing. I like it. Armor plate, 300. Cluster strike, $3,000. PA, $5,000. UAV, $6,000. Gas mask, 3. Self, 4. Muni, 2,500. Armor box, 4. Huh?
Damn.
All right. Loadout marker, solo 6K, duos, trios, quads, 10K. Okay. Back to that. W. So, okay. Hey, you know what? That makes sense. You're not going to spend $6,000 on a gun when the loadout's just 10. Buy another loadout. Okay. I'll give you that. I'll give you that trade-off. Make it make sense. It does make 15. Sense. It's not 15 in quads. More daunting
for squads.
Yeah, 10 is pretty reasonable. So it's going to be, we're going to go back to the way it was. You rack up 10, you buy your first class, you use a ground loot sub, and then you go for the freeloading. And then you have your panic late thing. You wait until you get to the second freeloading in the 5th circle or something, and then you get your thing.
And the second loadie drops, so you can get
you can restock then.
You get your sub, you get everything you need.
Squad mate redeploy, $4,000. So up $1,000. Not your life matters. Let's see here. Interact angle. Buy stations can be accessed from any angle, including behind it, provided increased flexibility during tense engagements. Buy station can now be accessed. Okay, cool. Yeah, you don't have to stand right in front of it. Jay Triller in chat says, doesn't seem like game is going to be that fun. It's promoting camping. The thing is going to come down to what they do with movement and stuff and how they make some changes there, because
we're getting there.
You could camp. However, breaking campers was one of those things of like, you could do it if you were, it's a skill gap, right? Like if you were a high skilled player, you'll be able to break the camping pretty well, depending on what changes they make in other areas. So I'm going to withhold judgment on that.
We're about to get to it.
Movement. Oh yeah. All right. Movement adjustments. All right. Introduction of Black Ops Omni movement system revolutionized gameplay because it has the foundation of player movement in Call of Duty Warzone. While the system launched with multiplayer inspired values, we've recognized the need for adjustments to better align movement dynamics with the unique demands of Call of Duty Warzone's limited life modes. Here's something I'm going to point out. In multiplayer, because the TTK is so much shorter than Warzone, the Omni movement works really well because you make a quick move, you dive, you slide, you do something, you break that aim assist, you break that lock, and you get your shots in free, you get the kill. However, in Warzone, because all of the delays in everything that they do, everything you do in Warzone right now has delays attached to it for whatever reason. They're shorter than they used to be, but they're still there compared to Warzone 1, right? You just can't string movement together the way it used to be. And so Omni movement is kind of like a shackle almost. It's not as good as it could be. It feels so much better in multiplayer. So hopefully they're making changes to balance that better. Season 3 focuses on fine-tuning the Black Ops 6 player movement by ensuring a balance between fluidity and responsiveness. Hopefully that's what we're saying. Movement speed, so mechanics. Movement speed reduced by crouch movement reduced by 10%. Crouch to stand speed increased by 15. Okay, this is what they're doing. They're slowing it down, but they're getting rid of the delay zone. Crouch to stand speed increased by 39%. Cool.
Wow. ADS.
Yeah. So while you're in a gunfight, you will be more fluid. This is I just said this. This is what we need, right? Get rid of the delays.
Stand up and shoot really fast.
Prone movement speed reduced. Sprint movement speed reduced. Directional sprint animation blend speeds increased. Again, chain movements together, create a skill gap. Also, what helped break campers in Warzone 1, right? You could slide into a room and go immediately into bunny hops and be moving laterally across somebody's field of vision while aiming at them, right? And that their aim assist wouldn't necessarily catch up to it. So this is going back towards that attitude where the skill is not in how fast you move, it is how well you can chain movement together. So cool. If it executes well, that could be a big mess. We'll have to find out. Jump cooldown, reduce the cooldown by 40% for improve. Okay, so bunny hopping is, I don't know if that brings it back, but it gets it closer. Speed scaling, reduce down.
I think that's like if you jump, like the cooldown for it is 40. So it all depends on how fast you're doing the bunny hop, right? Usually the first jump in anyway usually will get you where you need to be. It's that second jump.
Yeah.
Second jump. Like if you try to jump immediately after that, it's like, all right, it's a little bit quicker to get to it, but it's not infinitely quicker. Like because you're already pretty much won the gunfight if you executed it the right way. If you bunny hop the first time and you got those first shots off, first of all, people play at this point, they play once they slide in, they're already shooting. If they get the armor break by the first jump, the second jump isn't really needed, right? The second jump is just the stomp on your neck at that point.
Right.
So you really have to pull it off. The first jump has to be pulled off right. If you pull it off right, you're already winning the fight at that point. So I can see why they didn't just jump it to like 80 or something like that, or make it like that responsive, like that. But they sped it up so it doesn't feel like you can't bunny hop. Like it feels like a bunny hop, but it's still going to be a little bit like you can't just spam it, right? So
yeah, we'll see how they do. It's so yeah, they're basically trying to mimic Warzone 1 Verdansk. So
yeah.
Honestly, we gotta see. This is one of those things that I'm not going to call it a W or an L until we get our hands on it, because they can put all the numbers they want, and they've done that before. They give us all these numbers, and you get in the game, it's like it doesn't feel any different, right? So that is 100% a wait and see in my book, which I don't think is a problem. We just we gotta wait and see. All right, contracts, classes. So they redid the contracts. Recon contract is the way it used to be. So you get into a little zone and like around the box to do it instead of having to go to the little computer and put the thing in and then wait. So good. They'll probably move it a little further away than it used to be. 4-minute time frame. Random cash and shit. For that, supply run is back. I like the supply run. That was always an interesting one.
Loved it.
In case you don't remember, it's like it pings a specific buy station. You have to run to that buy station. You get a free. Everybody gets something free. And yeah. So that was always a good one, especially if you have people who are dead, right? It's a free get somebody back thing without putting a crown on you. So it's a way to get somebody back for free. So good. And contract multiplier. So returning from the Verdansk area, the contract multiplier enhances cash rewards as players complete more contracts. So every time you do it, it gets 30% cash stacked, up to 150% per contract. So good. And it's great because you can, it makes grabbing early bounties good, right? You drop in, you grab a bounty, and you see what happens. So yeah, okay. Tablet models, yeah, okay, don't care. Contracts, so they got rid of big game bounty, they got rid of signal intelligence and spy drones. I don't think I've ever done a spy drone on purpose.
Spy drones is on purpose. I mean, in Resurgence we do them because that's a real quick way to get your loadout. And
yeah, you get some cash and stuff.
Usually not that far away, so it's like you can
do it from a distance, so you don't have to like go somewhere, right? Yeah, I mean it's there. I never pulled one though. Some people would pull it on my team. I think you would pull them when I play with you sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sometimes I'll just pull them and just shoot them out the air real quick. Everybody just usually shoots them down. You can get it done in 10 seconds, really.
Yep, you can do it well.
It's not needed. It's not needed. It's not for OG Verdansk, so get rid of them.
Yeah, don't care. So, Scavenger, hopefully they return Scavenger where like the boxes are relatively nearby instead of like being 100 yards one direction and then 200 meters going the other direction. And you're just like, dude, really? Now we're spread all to hell trying to finish this contract. And, it sucked. So, cool. Most wanted, recon, all that stuff's normal. All right. Spawn rebalancing contract spawn rates have been adjusted throughout the battle royale. Okay. Payout updates. Basically go back to the way they were. Cool. Completing a most wanted contract no longer results in a supply cash drop. Fine. Don't care. They never really gave you much. Anyways,
might as well just give
me the cash. Let me buy what I want. Get my people back in. Recon contract progress. Added an upward arrows to indicate how much faster recon. Okay, don't care. Public events. They got rid of flyby. Thank you. My God, that was that's where the UAVs would fly over your head and tell everybody where you are. Stupid. Cash drop was kind of whatever. Contractor, whatever. Rogue signal. I don't even know what that one was. Recon flyover. Get rid of that. Runaway train. I kind of miss runaway train, but you have to have a train for that to even count. So I'm able to bring that back.
Right.
I liked runaway train. I thought that was kind of fun. Not every time, but like, maybe once every 10 matches would be fun to do. Fire sale, jailbreak, loadout drop, restock. All right, cool. Thermite's back. I used to run thermites exclusively because riot shields were really common. Cook them.
Throwing them shits.
Yeah. Name not found. No, there's no rationing in it, as far as I know. Everything's available.
Campers out. So thermites will definitely remove campers.
Yeah.
Just throw them in
make
the room.
a move.
If you want to be in the room, I'm throwing that shit. You got to get
thermites and Molotovs are back too, right? Yeah, Molotovs, thermites. Those things are great for it. Thermites are great because they stick. You could stick somebody with it. I always like to, somebody with a riot shield, you stick them and you just see them like burning as they run across. Like, dead. Morbid. All right. Adjustments, outline of full lethal and tactical equipment. We kind of know this already, but map loot will have C4, which I think is coming back. They teased that in the trailer. Frag, Molotov, Semtex. All right. So all the same shit. Smoke, gas grenades are still here. I wish they'd get rid of those, personally. But otherwise, it's all about the same. Only available via customized loadout. Narrow grass mine, shock. Seriously? Get rid of that.
Oh yeah.
Fuck those things. But you have to decide to carry them. So all right,
you gotta put that in a loadout.
They won't be everywhere.
It won't be as annoying.
Yeah. All right. The annoying people will still run them. Satchels. So they got rid of the. All right. So they got rid of the munition satchel on the ground and replaced it with the bandolier wild card, and then you have the armor satchel on the ground. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the way it used to be. Armor satchel, you got to carry 8 plates or whatever. Mm-hmm. Default carrying capacity reduced from 6 to 5, the way it used to be. Okay. Reduced camping. Kelza, I think we're happy so far. A lot of this we've already known, but I think we're happy overall. Yeah. So, total of 8s if you have the satchel. Cool. So kind of a balance there. You get to carry less normally. The satchel gets you more. Armor drops. Eliminate players will drop at least 1 armor plate. Doesn't apply to bots. Cool. All right. Yeah. So the original Warzone had, you could only have 5 in your pocket instead of 6. So if you get popped in the head, you replate. You cannot replate fully again after that, right? So like if you are camping, right, and you snipe somebody or you break their armor, then they can't they can only replenish it once instead of like right now. It's like you pop up, you hit them in the head, but you're too far out for one shot. Then they like just drop back, replay it up. They could do that 3 times right now because you have 6 plates, so 9 total plates. So, you know, it cuts down on that a little bit, makes them have to think a little bit more about it. Cool. Gulag armor removed in unranked. So
everybody's gonna have a
health only combat. Okay.
150 HP in the ghoulie.
Cool. So if you rush, and if you guess wrong,
you get shot. It's over.
Gulag's gonna be nuts, man. Gulag's gonna be rough.
You're getting melted in the ghoulie now.
Mm-hmm.
One mistake, it's over.
Yeah. Cool. And then some adjustments to the color to tell you what's doing what. Okay, whatever. Field upgrades. So the field upgrades in squad widget. Cool. They had this for a minute. Now it's back. So you can see who has a mic, who doesn't, how much cash they have, how many plates, what upgrades they've got. W. Good to have that back. Do you remember when somebody actually like drew that up and were like, and did a whole video about like, wouldn't it be great if they did this and they actually did it? So good to see that all coming back.
Right in.
They got rid of the deployable buy station. Okay. Portable decon station, portable radar. That's a bummer. I like that one. Portable redeploy drone. Good. Redeploy drone beacon. Good. Reinforcement flare. Good. Scrambler and war cry. Cool. Utility box.
Heartbeat sensors definitely going to be used now.
Yeah, it still has a battery from what I heard, so it's not going to be as OP as it was. But definitely going to be cool.
Increased battery life from 60 to 120 seconds.
Okay. I mean,
see, we can't return home properly without welcoming back the heartbeat sensor.
The baby monitor.
Its great predecessor. We understand that a minute of battery time is simply not enough to utilize effectively. Well,
all right.
They don't want to bring it back. They don't want to bring it back 100%, but they want to bring it back to at least being used how it was back in the OG days.
Yeah. So baby monitor comes back. All right, fine. But it has a battery life, so you can't just sit there forever. And you know what? Hey, and you know what? It's you can't bring it with you, right? Before you could bring it, you could get rid. It was a tactical, right?
Yeah,
it was a tactical before,
yeah.
And so now it's a field upgrade. So like, I like that better because you can't put it in your loadout, right? You have to find it and you have to lug it with you, and you know, if you have to make a choice, right? Your armor box. Your muni box, right? So yeah. All right. I think it'll be a little bit more balanced this time around. It won't be as OP. Kill streaks, they got rid of the bunker buster. They got rid of, I thought they were going to keep that. Whatever.
I thought they were going to keep that too.
All right. That's fine.
They have the kill streaks are basically like, as a precision.
Nothing.
Is a lot of it's nothing, but it's also 6K. So it's like, do you want to buy precision or a cluster just to make them move?
Yeah,
like that might help during end game, right?
Yeah.
But
the SAM turret, the most useless thing they've ever put in a kill streak. Like why? Why did that thing even exist in Warzone? It is the most useless piece of crap I've ever seen.
Foresight too.
Sentry tone Foresight. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know, I do know from the thing that the train recon is coming back. So if that matters to you, you have an option for it.
PA indicator is gone. Oh,
yeah. Jeez. Okay.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah. I'm okay with that. To be honest, it's going to make it more effective because that you just can't get kills with that anymore. Like you throw a PA out and it's like everyone sees on their map and they're just like, oh, I'll just take 10 steps over to the right.
Don't say that.
Watch it go.
There are some people who literally, like, because there's no PA notification, some people don't have their eyes trained to look at the mini map all the time. So like good players will sit there, their eyes go back and forth. Oh, I see it. I didn't get an indicator or a banner on my screen. I still see it coming. Yeah. Some people are just so locked in.
Yeah, they don't
that
know the minimap
see
exists.
they don't see that shit.
Well, it
and
ain't going to help them anyways. Well, that ain't going to help them. It's just going to help, we're going to see the return of people hitting themselves with their own PAs. I'm looking forward to that. Those were, I think, some of my favorite clips that people would post. Like, look at that. I hit him and I am dead. How did that happen? All right. Let's see here. Airspace to crowded message will now appear when a player attempts to pick up or aim down sights with a kill streak. Okay. So like if you go to use it right away, it'll tell you it's too busy. You don't have to like wait for it. All right, cool. Probably good. Because like before it was like you would try and fire it and then it would tell you. So now you'll know right away. I'm sorry it's raining, so my mic is picking up some noise from that. Perks, lootable perks are gone. We'll have them back, I'm sure. Fine.
Yeah. But OG days, we didn't have lootable perks. We just had whatever we walked in with, and then if you needed your loadout to have perks. So it's
I don't think the lootable ones came until.
I don't have any of my perks. We need a loadout. Blah 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 blah.
Yep.
Or if you don't land on your stuff again, well, it's not even lootable. Yep. You don't have it. It's gone. So
it's gone.
Like you're fucked.
So you know what? Okay, it's fine. It is what it is. It kind of reduces the use or increase. It makes having perks more useful, right? Because they're not everywhere. Because like God, I was playing last night. I picked up like 8 perks in like the first minute of the game. Like I had all the perks before I had like a viable AR. Like I had like 13 different Tontos and like a KSV. And I was like, and all my perks before I picked up an AR that actually like wasn't trash. So all right, cool. That's fine.
All right,
we'll live.
Right, Sub, I'm gonna
you gotta go.
Jet.
All right.
10 minutes till I have to be at work, but I will continue to watch. And,
appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming in. It was good having you on.
Everybody on Subone's stream, I appreciate y'all for having me. I appreciate Subone for having me on the call. Patchnotes for Verdansk. This is what we've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. We're back.
We'll get through them all. We're almost done. So thanks for hopping in, Silencer. All right. So weapons. Reflecting on our 5th anniversary, it's important to acknowledge our journey and current state, including in regards to combat. Milestone presents an opportunity to celebrate our successes and critically assess our shortcomings. Oh my gosh, they're admitting they have shortcomings. Love it. Game has continually evolved through the addition of new features, systematic enhancements, economic adjustments, and philosophical shifts in balancing. You could say that again. The improvements will also help us better understand what is effective and where further refinements are needed. Call of Duty Warzone was designed to deliver the essence of Call of Duty Battle Royale, combining exceptional, precise gameplay or gunplay with strategic and intense limited life scenario. While this core principle remains intact, certain distractions have at times impacted the intended pacing and intensity of the gameplay. Building upon recent adjustments such as reduction of armor reserves and to improve economic pacing, we are introducing substantial buffs to weapon damage. I'm up for that. Let's find out what that means. Initially, these enhancements will focus on Black Ops 6 catalog, subsequently extending to legacy weapons. So our goal with these changes is to increase the lethality of every encounter, reinvigorate overlooked weapon classes, and encourage players to adopt a more thoughtful and deliberate strategy in preparation for engagements. Okay, let's see these buffs. Let's see it is. Classic weapons, Kilo 141, everybody's favorite. I didn't actually love the original Kilo. I was using the M4 still. I think the Kilo was a little too lightheaded for me, personally. But fully automatic weapon with ergonomic design that improves handling and a steady fire rate that stays on target. Login reward. AMAX is back. The old 7.62x39 CK round. Compact and powerful, built exclusively for military use. Standard issue rifle is deadly for mid-range combat and easily configured for blah, 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 blah. That's the page 6. So you're halfway through the battle pass. HDR sniper rifle. Bolt action sniper. Bullets have a lower muzzle velocity, but remain devastating even at very long ranges. So one shot, unlimited kill. Battle Pass page 3. So if you buy the, I'm not throwing a recommendation one way or the other, but if you are one of those ones that buys the Black Cell, don't forget you get to unlock one page early whenever you want. So I would recommend unlocking the AMAX because that's page 6, and then you can earn your way to the HDR pretty quick. Just throwing that out there in case you didn't know. Kali Sticks Melee, you get it through the event thing, 2-hit kill, short range. Hopefully they don't have a lot of lunge, because lunge was the problem with those at the beginning. In Warzone 1, it was too fast. Like they could hit you from too far away, so you couldn't kill them by the time you saw them. But, curious to see how that works out. And then the Growl conversion kit. Let's see here. Fully automatic weapon with lower damage and range. This is for the 5.56. Oops, new barrel and magazine and locks. All right. I hope they switch this to assault rifle ammo, because if this is still on sniper ammo, it's going to be miserable. No one's going to like it. The monolithic suppressor is back. Cool. Suppressors at this point don't do much in BO6. They just make you quiet, but they don't help you any other way. So this actually adds some benefits to it. So cool. Another battle pass reward. Default loadouts. Cool. Yeah, they made some changes to the default loadouts. So loadout crates during a match have been updated with more competitive options. I think I read that the Kilo will be in there. So weapons. Let's see here. What are you guys saying? They nerfed the hell out of ranges. Curious to see how this all shakes out. Oh, they're rebooting Warzone 2 with the mechanisms we know and love for Season 4. Yes. Lipe, did you see the post I put up about all the changes that are coming? Oh, trolling. So range nerfs. Okay. So damage up, range down. And pretty decent. Like that's 15 meters. That's 25 meters off that range. So long range is about the same damage, but it's shorter. But multiplier, bullet velocity. I mean, some of these damages, I'm not going to go through every one of these. You can read them on your own, but they are nerfing the shit out of damage ranges. Ooh. Okay. But, more damage up close. So AR ranges are just, ouch. Even the Cypher got a damage buff. What? All right. Okay, hold on. Damage buff to the Cypher. That's crazy. I'm going to switch this over real quick. Oh, nope. That didn't work. All right. I can't switch that on the fly. Too bad. I was going to switch my camera off of this Discord thing because now it's ugly. But, oh well. Cypher got a buff. Oh my god, it didn't get much of one, but it didn't need a buff. All right. Nerf to the lower some multiplier buff. Okay, whatever. But nerf to damn range nerf. Range nerf. Jeez. Buff the XM4 a little bit. Needed that. That thing was bad. Goblin didn't get. All right. Goblin's still going to be ridiculous. SMGs. Range nerf. Lots of range nerfs. Okay. I mean, nerfs everywhere. Shotguns buffed. Oh, they buffed shotguns. Oh, geez. All right. That'll be fun. LMGs. The Ferng 82. The thing was trash. Now it's less trash. Everything else got some change. The PU-21. Okay. Might actually be worth picking up. XMG mixed. Weird that they're mixing it like this. Damage down. So kind of a net nerf on the XMG overall. Weird. I don't know. Tolar, I don't know why they're doing that. It's kind of an interesting philosophy. Probably trying to separate out long range from short range engagement. I mean, right now you can just lock onto somebody and beam them and you just obliterate them at very long, significantly longer ranges. What are they doing with marksmans? Marksmans are buffed kind of overall, except for the weird. Car 98 got, what did they do to this? They buffed it damage wise, buff multiplayers. So, all right. Pistols got some damage nerfs. Seriously? Maximum damage range 25. At 25, what is that by 250? What is that? That's like an 8 shot to kill? Something like that? Out to 25 meters. Okay. So 9mm is going to be tougher to get kills out of. It's going to be tougher to get kills out of the air with the 9mm. So that's probably a good thing at the end of the day, to be honest. But if you're caught with a pistol and somebody has a gun, like that's going to be tough. RIP you. So do not try and go pistol to pistol, like pistol to gun on somebody. 10 shots to kill. Yeah, see, my brain's not on today. 10 shots to kill off. Dude, no one's going to get killed out of the air. You have to be terrible to get killed out of the air. I'm calling it right now because 10 shots, 10 hits out of the air. Good Lord. Good luck. Launchers. They're buffing launchers. The HE1 250 to kill. Same with the Sigma. Launchers are buffed. Pila's buffed. RPG never changed, but ranges are better. Strela. Yeah. 0 to 1 meters, so 70 inner explosion. Yeah, okay. So you hit somebody with the HE1 and they're dead. Same with the Sigma. Cool. I don't know. I didn't look at the headshot damage, but like you're not going to hit tons of headshots. Team shoot. Yeah. Yeah. Pistols are going to be rough. That's okay. Honestly, it's probably a better balance against the, against that. Like, cause right now, like if you get, depending on the pistol, like you can actually stand toe to toe if you get the drop on somebody. And the Siren has been utterly trash. It's now somewhat less trash. Did I miss the snipers? Did I miss sniper rifles? No, they didn't talk about them. They're not on here. Weird. All right, cool. Check out the headshot. All right, what's the headshot damage on that? 2.5x. Oh, all right. I take that back. The multiplayers are good. So, all right. Yeah, that's gonna hit him in the head. That's gonna go up. We can do some damage on that. All right. Yeah. So, but we got to figure out what the base damage is on the arms before that matters too much. But it's yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it feels. Classic. The heli, the cargo truck, the Polaris. We knew that. That's all coming back. Cool. Here's what I wanted to see. Heli 1 to 2 hit. What? Hold on. With the return of Verdansk, we're looking to capture some of the original essence of vehicles in Warzone. Collaboration with friends to track. We've turned movement, health, damage-resistant equipment interactions to feel much closer to the original version. We know that nobody wants paper-thin vehicles, and we also know that vehicles are more fun when they can efficiently get you to point A to point B. Traversal shouldn't feel restricted to roads alone. That said, there will be appropriate counters to vehicles reminiscent of the past. All right, high-level view of the equipment. Lethality against vehicles with greater vehicle responsiveness comes the need for more powerful, more memorable, moment-inducing equipment encounters. Okay. Launchers, grenades, traps, C4, thermite, and the Joker. The Joker kills everything with one shot. Thermite burns it I don't know how many ticks you get on a standard thermite, so you might have to multiple hit thermites for some of these. C4, one hits everything but the cargo truck. That needs 2. Traps, one hits everything but the cargo truck. That needs 1 to 2. So depending on, I guess, what it is. I think, yeah, we'll see what it is. But so probably one of the traps, probably the spring mine kills it, and the blast trap needs 2. Grenades. So grenades, you need a couple grenades to kill everything but the ATV. Launchers, 1 to 2 hits on everything but the cargo truck. So probably the lock-on launcher or the launchers probably deal less damage to it, I would imagine. Interesting. Made improvements to the accuracy of pings to loot near a vehicle to avoid ping snap to vehicles. Cool. W. And let's see here. Controversial. 25 meters. The 9mm does 65.5 damage. Well, okay, yeah. 4 headshots out of the air is going to be tough, though. So, but it's not going to be like it. You're not going to 3-shot somebody with a pistol. So, the original iconic Warzone victory screen returns. W, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a preference. Tac map and compass icons. Tac map has circular cursor from the classic Call of Duty Warzone experience. I honestly don't remember that. All map icons are spiritually faithful to the color palette with improvements to identify stuff. Okay. I mean, that map looks good. I like the highlights around people. Reverted from the triangle shape to a lollipop shape that features. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully we can see it. Hopefully pings go on the mini map again, because they don't always show up on the mini map. Score feed colors. Yeah. Yellow text is back. Special events in white. Okay, cool. Weapon inspection. So this is something they put in the blog post. I like it. You do the weapon inspect. It tells you what you've got. So if you pick up somebody's dog shit loadout and you're like, what is this? So I never put the stuff on my gun, my stuff again. You get to look and see what they put on their gun. Like if you pick up somebody's loadout and you're like, this thing is trash, what's on it? And then you can mock them endlessly. Because some of y'all have never heard of True Game Data. I can tell that because I've picked up some of your guns and I'm like, what is this? What are you doing? Detailed death recap. They went over this before, so it gives you a bunch of more information about how you died. A lot of people aren't going to listen to this and will just scream cheater anyways, but that's okay. It's good to have. Then loadouts. Prioritize favorite loadout and gunsmith. So this was there. You could star it. It goes to the top. So good. Good to have that back and working. Mission items in squad widget. A new slot has been added to the squad widget to show each member's most recent mission item icon for improved coordination. Mission. Okay. I don't know. I got to see that. I don't understand what that means. Death skull icon, quality of life. Death size of the death skull icon increased to make it easier for players to locate their previous death. Fine. Navigation pings. Fine. Make them better. Player icons. Okay. Do some improvements there. Cool. Mostly just like little things. Leaving the match confirmation. They are screwing with my ability to rage quit. Dang it. Yeah, it gives you a timer, like a cooldown, so you can't just like spam quit. You have to like deliberately do it. It also messes with it, so like if you're being executed, you can't quit in time. So I've had people quit on me when I'm trying to execute them, and they quit halfway through. So all right, cool. And let's see what else. Ping distance text on map. Ping duration setting. You can change that. Cool. TAC map centering option. Map assists, different options to enable players to have more agency over their experience. This is kind of good. This is good, especially for controller players on console that don't have access to mouse and key. So when you hit the TAC map, there's a lot of like zooming and like moving around to try and do anything productive, which is frustrating to me. So good. I like that. Audio. All right. Classic audio. Get the original cinematics, music, announcer, re-recorded by Julian Stone. Okay. They read. All right, cool. Brought him back. The hit marker sound, armor and armor breaks. Cool. Death door sound. Who hopped in? Is that silencer in here again?
Yeah, that's me.
All right, cool. Welcome back. Let's see your death door, footstep recordings, loot chest, buy stations, contracts. Cool. Let's see here. All right, adjustments, occlusion and reverb. Oh. Transition from older ray-casted occlusion system to Microsoft Triton Acoustics audio middleware, providing realistic audio occlusion, obstruction, and reverberation. So they replaced the whole engine. It's all gone. Everything we have been stuck with for, I don't know how long they've put this in there. Probably from last year. Certainly this year. Gone. I don't know if Microsoft Triton's any better, to be honest. But at least this is gone. Improved sound behavior on corners and surfaces. Custom tuned data specifically optimized for Warzone. Okay, cool. Adopted new procedural audio technology that dynamically adjusts sounds based on gameplay elements. All right. We'll have to see how this goes.
We'll see.
Let me see. Okay. Sound modifiers, footsteps and ladders. Unique tuning for Call of Duty Warzone footsteps separate from premium titles. Okay. Hopefully
I thought that
better.
they had they like the sounds that the ladder makes is already different, because and they're loud at this point. They're very, very loud.
Which they should be. Ladders are loud, man. But
I was watching gameplay of Verdansk, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and it was Swag. Swag was climbing up the police station or whatever. This dude literally, I heard nothing. There was no sounds on ladders in OG Verdansk. 0.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to understand. But it's like audio was trash then too. So who knows?
Friendly foot. So let's see here. Unique tuning for Call of Duty footsteps separate. Friendly teammates footsteps reduced when positioned behind the player. Good. Footstep loudness dramatically scales with entity speed. Okay. Run faster, get louder. Footstep pitch changes based on player elevation above and below. Hopefully that works. Ladder sounds amplified and adjusted based on movement speed. So go fast, get loud. Boosted audio cues for jumping and landing. Distinctive ceiling footsteps to clearly indicate players running overhead. Okay. So it sounds like they're redoing footsteps completely. I hope it works. I hope it does. Warzone 1 had actually great footstep audio. You didn't need to tune anything. It just worked really well. And hopefully they're going back to something like that, because right now the audio, even if you tune it to the moon, if you put everything on it and you spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on equipment to fix it, it's still trash. Directionality is trash. The engine they did is trash. It's all bad. So I'm glad they fixed it. Cloth gear and gear sounds are now distinctively tuned for Call of Duty Warzone. All right, so they redid that, increased clarity and volume of mantling and melee sounds, different friendly and enemy movements. Okay. Enhanced mantling audio to resemble footsteps for greater situation. Okay. So fixing more audio. So audio has been redone. So hopefully it's good. We won't know until we get it. And audio pitch adjusts based on, okay, whatever. Locationality. Bug fixes. Holy shit. There's like
50,000 bugs.
Not as many as I thought there would be. Death recap, bleed damage. What? All right. This is a lot of little bugs. I'm just going to scan through, see if there's anything really interesting. Fix some dev errors. Fixed something with a Crovis master key underbarrel that no one has ever used ever in Warzone, so don't care. Quartermaster suppressor from unlocking properly. Great. Nobody cares.
Dev error in private matches.
Let's see here. Incorrect display of full Activision IDs. Probably related to that thing where like not everybody could get, like if you mess with your Activision ID, you couldn't get the Verdansk stats. Which I think it's just ID based, not account based. Lipe, you mentioned that earlier, so this probably fixes that. Fix an issue where players would teleport across the map when using an ascender in the pre. I didn't run into that, but cool. Nobody cares. Pre-game lobby. Players lost control after jailbreak revivals. I've had one of those. That sucks. With gas mask overlay not applying with screen boundaries, I guess. Okay. Restocking Gulag lethals tactical for Memoco. Okay, fix that little minor bug. Infinite submissions of biometric key cards. That was kind of a fun one in Rebirth. Issue causing loss of player control and interactive load after playing Gulag. Okay, good. If you're still working on your MW2 or 3 camos, cool. Fix some stuff. Fixed issues, little thing. Bias.
I noticed
okay, cool.
I was using a WSP last night, and I got, you know how they had the mastery camos, like the obsidian and all that. I actually unlocked the camo for that last night. I was like, I didn't even know these things were still tracking, honestly.
Yep. So, all right, yeah, as Kelsa said, this is basically a new game. Yeah, we're getting a brand new game, guys. They've scrapped what's left of MW2, and they've given us MW. We should consider this Warzone 1 remastered at this point. That's what we have.
100%.
I don't oppose it. Required fixes. This is a mess. Huge. It's been a mess. Look, I've been clear on this since day one. I think this is, and I haven't changed. Warzone 2 was designed with the expectation that when they started developing on it, BRs were dying. We were not going to play BR anymore. People were going to want to play extraction shooters, and they were going to position DMZ to be the extraction shooter for COD players. Unfortunately, what happened was BRs made a resurgence. They came back. We had season 17 of Apex, revitalized Apex. You had no build come in Fortnite, and everybody wanted that back. So they chickened out. They did not go full bore on DMZ, and they left Warzone this mess of half DMZ, half BR. And the people in charge refused to accept that they made a mistake for a very long time. I don't know if they've been replaced. I don't know if they've had their minds changed for them, but I am going to say this. Microsoft feels like Microsoft stepped in and said, yo, y'all made a mistake. Time to fix it, walk it back. And we're finally going to see that happen. And then from here on out, we will see what they come up with. Now, I don't expect this to be perfect on day one. I expect stuff not to work. I expect stuff to break, stuff to be overlooked. It's just the nature of development, especially with Call of Duty. I hope it all works. I hope it's playable. I hope there's nothing game breaking on day one. I hope it's just a handful of minor annoyances that gets patched over the next couple of days. But
that's the thing. I hope it's playable. Just let me play the game.
Look, on paper, Warzone is back.
We're back.
But you know what?
If everybody wants to be scared to say it, I'm gonna say it. We're back, baby.
On paper, they have to deliver. It has to land. It has to work. We have to have stuff that's not like it can't be a disaster. Okay. The stuff that they say they're doing they have to deliver it. The anti-cheat work they're doing on it has to work. And as long as they deliver on it, on most of it, I'll say like if 75% of this works, it's going to be great. But you know, it's Call of Duty, so we won't know until we know. All right, everybody, thanks for coming in chat. Silencer, thanks for hopping in and joining me, spending your afternoon. I gotta wrap up. I gotta go pick up the kids from school, and yeah, so we will see everybody on the 3rd. If you're playing early, drop me a DM. Let me know because I need to put a squad together to play all day. I took most of the day off, so I'll be available. Till then,
I'll be off Friday. I will be playing during the day Thursday, and I will be a dirtbag employee Thursday night.
understandable.
Work, just come back and play.
All right, buddy. Well, I'll catch you all in the next one. Thanks again for hopping by. Thanks for supporting the stream, and I'll catch you all